Yo, what's good, YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoot, back with the iDM International Draft Masters. We have season number 4, and we have a week number 5 match where we've got the Arizona Dactyls taking on the SLC Star Raptors, coached by the Gran1, and of course the Arizona Dactyls coached by Volume. So both of these guys have pretty scary squads. We played Volume in week 3. Picked up a win there. We haven't played Gran yet. As you can see, he's got the Gran1 at or his username, and Volume using his team name as his username, which is fantastic. I think anybody that plays Draft League should use that. Of course, I don't, but you know, if everybody did, I would as well. I think that would be a cool concept, having to use, you know, a showdown alt with your team name. Anyways, Gran1 here, he has a Celesteela, a Mungus, Mega Tyranitar. This is Mega Tyranitar on screen. He's got the Excadrill, Azumarill, and the Thundurus Therian. Volume decided to bring his Zygarde 50%, Suicune, regular Tyranitar, Mega Lopunny, Jirachi, and the Piloswine. So, looking like a hard time to break the Celesteela. Celesteela looks extremely annoying for Volume to break. However, Zygarde with 1,000 arrows may be able to do the job. Mega Lopunny looks like a threat as well. Of course, this could be Sandrush Excadrill, which would give it the advantage too. And once Suicune's weakened, Sandrill looks very potent. And I could see Gran bringing some techs on Azu to maybe trap the Suicune with like Whirlpool and Parasong or something like that. Eliminate that to where Excadrill can go ham. But we'll see what's going to happen here. So I think that was a U-turn, and it got the counter there. So that was a nice cool play there with the counter, doing a nice 28% to the Piloswine. However, I do think Piloswine will get its rocks up here. I think Tyranitar could also go for rocks. Both of these Pokemon being pretty stout stealth rockers. I do believe Piloswine has the advantage here. Can just click Earthquake, of course. In comes the Azu, as the Piloswine goes for the Charm. So that was a cool tech. I didn't expect that. That's one thing I didn't expect, that's for sure. I could certainly understand if this Azu went for the Whirlpool, but it does go for the knockoff, gets rid of the Jirachi's item. And I did miss it there, what it was. I did miss what the item was. Likely a Choice Scarf. I'm not for sure though. Could have been leftovers as well. I'm not real sure. It goes for the Wish, so it's unlikely that he was Choice Scarf. Unlikely to see Choice Scarf Wish. It does go for the Protect here, as the Excadrill goes for the Earthquake, you know, letting the Jirachi know, hey man, you got to switch out here. If you don't, things could get ugly. And it's likely that the Jirachi either switches out here or U-turns out. Volume doesn't have any switch-ins to Earthquake from Excadrill outside of Suicune. Everything else takes a whole lot of damage. I mean, Zygarde can come in, but it doesn't want to necessarily take an Earthquake. Suicune can take it pretty comfortably and scare out Excadrill. But then again, Amoonguss just comes in freely. Thundurus Therian is an option to try to counter Suicune as well. And he does just go for the Earthquake again and brings the Zygarde in, and it takes almost half. Pretty much expected that. If it was anything other than the Suicune, it was taking close to half, or you know, just gonna knock. It would knock the it would knock the Jirachi and the Tyranitar out for sure. So I think I don't think Excadrill risk Zygarde being faster than it, and I believe Zygarde just throws off 1,000 arrows. I don't believe you have an opportunity to set up a Dragon Dance or anything like that, because +1 extreme speed isn't doing much to Azu, and it kind of forces you to go for the extreme speed, as it could have the Aqua Jet. And that -1 knockoff damage earlier looked quite offensive to me. I would say that's an offensive Azumarill, but I'm not entirely sure. So both players taking their time with this play. This is a big one though, and I can understand why. I do believe the Zygarde just goes for the 1,000 arrows here, and Excadrill will either switch out into Azu or switch out into the Amoonguss. A physically defensive Amoonguss would be okay with something like Haze or Hidden Power Ice to try to check Zygarde, especially with Regenerator, being able to come in and potentially even scout for Z moves and things like that. So he is going to go for the okay, so he went for 1,000 Waves actually, and in comes the Thunderous Therian. A really, really, really nice play there, capitalizing on the 1,000 arrow or the 1,000 Waves not landing here. Obviously, he didn't predict 1,000 Waves. Predict 1,000. He would have lived 1,000 arrows there. Of course, he would have been grounded at that point, though. I think Thunderous might be a Z-move user. This might be a Z-move user, and he could very well go for the all-out pummeling here and blow this Piloswine away. Focus Blast also likely knocks out from this range, but of course, it is 70% accurate. I believe Volume is looking for his second win of the season, where Gran is looking, I think, closer to his third win of the season. And goes actually for the Black Hole Eclipse, and Piloswine lives on 1. Piloswine lived on 1 and got Stealth Rocks up. Holy smokes. So that was awesome. That was crazy, actually. And gets a nice 56% chunk. Woo! Ooh, Ishar doing 56%. And he goes for the U-turn. So he's going to be taking Stealth Rocks damage upon switch in. So he'll be at 19% upon switch in. Easily in range of Fake Out or Quick Attack from Mega Lopunny. Extreme Speed from Zygarde 50%. Oh man. And not to mention 3 turns of Sand and he will be gone. Or maybe 4 turns, depending on HP investment and things like that. So in comes the Excadrill. Kind of forces back in the Zygarde. And now that it's 1,000 waves set, it's a little bit easier to deal with, in my opinion. However, it could be Dragon Dance 1,000 waves. So he just decides to go into the Mega Lopunny here, potentially threaten him out with the high jump kick. This could be Scarf Drill though. Okay, decides to switch out into a Celesteela. Ooh, and this is potentially a 2-hit KO. Mega Lopunny. Oh man, Mega Lopunny has a lot of different options here, so it'd be interesting to see if Gran decides to go, if he has Protect, if he decides to click it here, and if he does, what does the Mega Lopunny decide to do? I'm kind of expecting the Protect to come out here. The obvious play is to click Protect. Celesteela is really nice versus the Jirachi, but that's just about it. So I can understand him just attacking here to avoid Mega Lopunny from setting up like Cosmic Powers or Baton Passing or substituting up or something like that. Or if he just has the Drain Punch. So Celesteela has a few different options here, like I mentioned. Could click Protect, or he could just go straight for an attack. He does go for the Lead Seed. So making some big boy plays there. As the Jirachi ends up going for the Wish. Comfortably takes the Flamethrower though. However, Celesteela will be back to full after a Protect. Jirachi has to go for the Protect here, of course. Catch this big Wish back and go from there. I think a really good play for Gran would actually be going for a hard switch into Tyranitar. Unless you just wanted to get back to full. Yeah, so yeah. I guess he got a little bit extra back on that turn, thanks to that. Wow, okay, well, volume threw away his Jirachi there. So Celesteela doesn't have to deal with that too bad. I'm not sure what the thought process was there. I guess expecting the Celesteela to switch out eventually. But in comes the Tyranitar here as Jirachi goes down to the Lead Seed, meaning that this thing doesn't get a Beast Boost. So he doesn't get a Beast Boost, and he takes less than half from Stone Edge. Gets the Wish back though, so that's a nice big Wish. Probably going to force the Celesteela to click Lead Seed. And the Leech misses. Really unfortunate there for Gran. However, if he does have Protect, now is the time to go for it. And he should be out of range of the following Stone Edge if he does have Protect. If he doesn't have Protect, the Stone Edge will knock him out here. However, he could switch into Driller. He could switch into his own Tar as well, as it doesn't serve too much of a purpose at this point. Whereas Celesteela does have options and ways to get back to full. Not back to full, but I mean eventually, but passive recovery with Lead Seed recovery and leftovers could potentially put him in range of just being, well, never mind. There's the Stone Edge landing once again. No Protect. No Protect there. So I guess he could go into his ZAMCRO here. He could go into his Excadrill and start throwing off some more Earthquakes. He does go out into the Azu, so likely just clicks Play Rough here. I believe Play Rough is the best play. There is no switch in. If this thing is choice banded and outpaces the Tyranitar, however, Tyranitar could be slow. Then again, choice banded Tyranitar could potentially pick up a knockout here with Stone Edge, depending on the Azu's investment. Obviously, will knock out if it gets a crit too. Assuming it's choice band and offensive. Based on the damage it was doing to Selly, though, I do think it's offensive. And Play Rough connects, knocks out the Tyranitar. Tyranitar does put it in range to drop to basically anything from Mega Lopunny or Zygarde, though. Maybe even Suicune. But I do think Zygarde is the play, or Mega Lopunny. Mega Lopunny doesn't really invite anything in. per se. Whereas Zygarde could invite something like Amoonguss in. Yeah, in comes the Mega Lopunny. And I do believe you just click frustration here, or return. It does go for the return as the Tyranitar switches in here. So the obvious play would be going for the high jump kick, and Gran does allow that to happen as well. So I thought he may pivot back into his Azu to keep sand, or that he may pivot into Amoonguss again to keep sand. More so, Azu is a sack, but Amoonguss is like a high jump quick switch in. And he could have even played around with it had he went for frustration there on the Amoonguss switch in. He could have just sacked off Azu, got the regen back, then went back into Amoonguss. But I think ultimately the play was to get Lop in range of Excadrill. So now I think, get sand up for Excadrill. And now I think you have to bring in Excadrill here and go for the Earthquake roll. Unfortunately, because you just don't have enough sand turns. Otherwise, the play was to sack off Azu or Amoonguss. There was no reason to sack off Tyranitar there. Even Thundurus Therian would have been better to watch go there, especially if you were bringing Amoonguss in anyway. Yeah, I definitely think Amoonguss should have came in on the Mega Lopunny there instead of letting the Mega Tyranitar drop. It's really, really unfortunate. So Volume pulls the switch out into his Zygarde as the Amoonguss goes for the Giga Drain. So I think this is a Z move, Zygarde, because it did reveal 1,000 waves earlier. I think it's going to want to go ahead and pick off the Amoonguss, or just net a knockout. Not quite able though. And the Amoonguss has the Hidden Power Ice, able to knock out the Zygarde from that range. In comes the Mega Lopunny. And maybe, I think Amoonguss is going to be key to victory here for Gran. So I don't think you let Mega Lopunny net this knockout. If Mega Lopunny nets this knockout, I think the Arizona Dactyls will come away with victory here. However, if Gran saves Amoonguss and lets it get back to full via regenerator switches, then I think Amoonguss will win. And sand turns are almost gone, so that was a waste. Unless this is Choice Scarf Excadrill, in which getting damage off on the Lopunny would be best case scenario, and keeping Thundurus healthy. Not healthy, but, you know, away from death. So, yeah, I think if Gran allows Amoonguss to go down here, I think the Mega Lopunny will win this matchup, as Azumarill and Thundurus Therian are well in range of Quick Attack or Frustration if he doesn't have Quick Attack. Obviously, neither of them are Scarfed, and Aqua Jet won't be able to pick up the knockout from this range. And Excadrill, if it's not Scarfed and Sand runs out, it will drop to the High Jump Kick bar like a Choppleberry. And, of course, at 28%, Amoonguss is not surviving a 102 base power Frustration or Return. I believe it's Return in this matchup. So, Volume's play here is to just click Frustration or Return, excuse me. No reason to click anything else, and something's going to drop or be 2-hit KO'd. And at the very least, it saves differential for Volume. However, if he knocks out this Amoonguss, I'm telling you, I think Mega Lopunny is going to win. And there it goes. Amoonguss drops to the return, and I think that's going to be a mega low punting win. The Excadrill comes in. Can easily go for Earthquake here. Mega low punting survives. Goes for the high jump kick. Picks up the knockout on the Excadrill. And now ZAMCRO is going to come in. It's going to go for the Aqua Jet. However, I do think you switch into Suicune here. Comfortably eat up the Aqua Jet. And if your opponent... Oh, he's got the quick attack, so it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. See, now Gran had that win if he would just save the Amoonguss. He just, yep, all he had to do was save the Amoonguss, and he would have had that win. But yeah, it's going to be game. Volume coming through there with the mega low punting, and that's going to be it. So let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. And yeah, that's going to be it. Nice to catch some iDM content live here, some other coaches playing and stuff like that. These games are hype. Love the iDM, all the players. The games have been super, super duper fun. But yeah, it's going to be it. So let me know what you thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.